everyone. Scott Kruger here from Kruger & Hodges. We are ready for our next episode of Around Town Sports Edition. Today, I'm joined by Hamilton head football coach Arvie Crouch. Arvie, it's a pleasure to interview you today.
Hey, thanks for having me. We love it.
I want to start by talking about the 2022 season. This was your first season here as the head coach at Hamilton High School. Obviously, you took over from another coach after he departed. Tough season record-wise, but you guys were really competitive. Can you tell me about that first season?
Absolutely. We decided as a staff, I got a great staff, and they're the same staff now that we had then, and we talked about defense. We wanted to prioritize in defense, and we started a lot of sophomores that year, and so we took our lumps and was in there almost every game at halftime, with really, really good teams. So, we took our lumps, went 3-8 overall, faced Moeller in the playoffs the first year, and hung in there with that game, and overall it was a great experience.
And you turned that 3-8 season around very quickly. The very next season, 8 wins.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me about that transition?
Well, it was a little better than what I thought it was going to be, honestly. I'm going to be honest. I thought we would be about 6-win team, 6 wins, but we got some playmakers, that made some plays and won some games. We won some games I didn't think we were going to win, and we almost lost some games I didn't think we were going to lose. So it was one of them roller coaster years where the kids just bought into what we were doing and made plays. We had a great opportunity to beat Princeton, which went on to be undefeated, and had a call that was questionable that could have won us the game. But I was proud of my kids and how hard they fought to be in the game at the end. And it's been a fun process just transforming this program.
And of course, turning our attention to this year, 2024 team, obviously a bunch of seniors on this team. Right now we're 6-2. With a chance to go undefeated the rest of the way, make the playoffs. Why don't you tell me about this group of seniors?
Well, I try not to get emotional to talk about them because, when I came here, it was pretty desolate, with attitude and overall program for whatever reason. I don't know why, but, they decided to buy into what I was doing and what I was talking about. And I had a pretty good record coming in as a head coach, and I had a lot of ties here at Hamilton from being an assistant here before. So, we created a bond right away, and the kids bought into what, they played for some of my players when they were in younger groups, and their coaches, their old coaches told them, hey, this guy knows what he's doing, and they just bought in, and the rest is history.
Well, and speaking of that buy-in, why don't you tell me, what kind of changes did you have to make when you got here to build the program up to where it is now?
Well, number one was the weight room. Honestly, the GMC weight room, for that to be like it was embarrassing. We got that straightened out right away. I got a strength and conditioning coach, Coach Speziel. He's transformed these kids in the weight room. He's been with me for probably 8-9 years now, and we've developed him as we went along with, like the guy likes of Luke Day and guys like that coached for me and played for me. They've helped us out a lot, just developing him into a stellar, probably one of the best high school strength coaches in the country, in my opinion. And that was a big one right there. And I've got a whole presentation on how to change the program around. We want, we're changing staff. We're not necessarily. I don't have to hire. I hired guys that were here already. But we changed some attitudes about things and just started promoting our program and turning it into a positive place.
If in terms of culture, if you wanted to leave, and I know you want to leave your mark here on this program, and you already have, but what is it that you want to be remembered for in terms of culture and how your team plays and how your team interacts with the community?
Well, I always tell my guys, I don't really give a crap what you think about me right now. I care about what you think about me when you got kids that look like you looking at you, and that's what I tell them. And it's important to me that they're good fathers and they're good husbands, and or whatever they choose to do. You know, I don't care if they're, you know, I've got guys that are leading warehouses, you know, I've got guys running companies, I've got guys that are, you know, playing in college and playing in the NFL, you know. I just want them to be leaders whatever they do and do it the best.
Well, you certainly have done that thus far. I mean, the proof is in the pudding with your players. You've got some college scholarship athletes already on your team. We're going to be interviewing a couple of them here today. Before I let you go, Coach, do you mind spending just a brief minute or two introducing the players that we're about ready to talk to?
Well, you got Trey Verdon. I mean, it speaks for itself. You know, his brother's one of the highest ranked, if not the highest ranked safety in the country at Iowa State. He's an outstanding human being. He's a better person than he is a player, you know, and he's a really good player, you know. Probably one of the best D linemen I've ever coached, if not the best. And he's just fun to be around. His mom's a teacher in the district. He's really bought into what we're doing, and you know, he's went through his lumps up and down here, but outstanding human being. He's going to be going to Iowa State, and he's a playmaker, man. I really think that we're a different team with him in there. And then we got Grayson Goldsmith has made transition from all-league linebacker to running back. He still plays a little bit of linebacker in some package situations, but phenomenal linebacker, but even better running back. He's really starting to turn it on and get his, you know, he hasn't ran the ball since 6th grade, so, you know, he kind of is just starting to get into his own, get his visions coming back, being able to see the holes a little bit. Coach Burke and Coach J.D. Vonderheit and his uncle, Tony Santos, has really worked hard with him to get him in the right position and right mind frame to succeed at his position, and that's what he's been doing the last few weeks. And then Carter Isaacs, one of my favorite of all times human beings. He's a 4.3 GPA and going to Gardner-Webb on a full ride. He's a safety that is just phenomenal. I mean, the other night he was calling out plays against Fairfield. He knew what they were going to do just by, you know, looking at it, you know, so that's how smart he is. But he's fun to be around on top of that. You know, he talks a little trash, sometimes too much for me, but, you know, we like to say in the ears and out the pads, you know, and so sometimes he's a little bit more out the mouth a little bit. But he's a great kid. I love him to death. He's like a son to me.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time, especially considering you are in the middle of a season right now. So I hope that the listeners at home realize what a great coach we have here and the fact that he took time out of his day mid-season to talk to us. It really means a lot to us, and we appreciate it.
Well, it's my pleasure, and we love the coverage.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you.
All right.